Hey guys, it's JJ. Welcome back to the Texans franchise. It's off-season time, and as always, we start the off-season with the result of the first Super Bowl, and it's going to be the Baltimore Ravens 38-7. This was never at all a close game because the Rams scored their only touchdown in the fourth quarter, and they lost a turnover battle. But yardage-wise, it doesn't seem like Baltimore had a huge day on offense. I think probably that one turnover was maybe in their own red zone or something, and then the Ravens took over, having like 10 yards to go or stuff like that. And yeah, but Lamar Jackson having a career day at the office. Matthew Stafford, not quite as much. Got sacked a few times as well. And rushing. Yeah, they just got ran all over, and the only touchdown of the LA Rams was scored by Cooper Kupp, and it was a 75-yarder. So that's the only thing that the Rams offense could do all day. And Baltimore had just control over the game at all times. And yeah, lots of TFLs here in this game. 3 sacks for Justin Houston. He is made Super Bowl MVP for those 3 sacks. Odafe Owe had a sack, and then Jordan Hicks had the 1 pick. So yeah, and with that being said, we're gonna move on. We are going to fire our defensive coordinator. He is not a scheme fit, and this was the worst defense in the NFL by far. And we're gonna let Albert Torres go and hire Emmanuel Ortega. He is a better scheme fit. He has the 4-3 under, and we're getting a nice hiring bonus. And yeah, gonna spend that on a few things. And moving on, next up is retirements, and we have 2 guys retiring, and one of them is a big one. Jerry Hughes just got superstar dev and decides it's time to end his career here after 13 years. And then the second guy is Rex Burkhead. He had 2 carries last year. It's just not all that important. But Jerry Hughes retiring is a huge deal because our pass rush was already weak and he was the only bright spot at all. And now he's gone too. And Jonathan Grenard is the only starting caliber edge rusher on this defense now. And we have a few edge rushers also at the end of their deal, so I'll see what I can do about that. But yeah, we just lost our best edge rusher, and we're gonna have to replace him in the offseason somehow. Maybe we do go edge with our second first-round pick or something like that. But for now, that is, yeah, kind of a harsh reality. Didn't think he would retire, but he did. And we're gonna look at regression next. This is our long snapper, 43 points in total. That sucks, but he's just a long snapper, so I guess it's fine. Our center, Justin Britt. This is sorted by age, naturally. John Weeks, the long snapper, was like 37 or something. We have a lot of players that are now 30, 31, 32. And yeah, our center lost a little bit. Our punter, fortunately, did not lose anything, so he's going to be kept around, and his contract is not up either. Christian Kirksey just lost tackling, pursuit, awareness, zone coverage. He was a good, yeah, he was getting the tackles, but he wasn't having the big plays. And yeah, he regresses here at age 31. Our right guard, AJ Can, also regresses a little bit. And both of those guys were not great to begin with. Our center and right guard. And then Terrence Brooks, our backup safety. I wanted to resign him, but after losing 2 speed and 3 press and a hell of a lot more in zone coverage and stuff like that, he's gonna be let go, I guess. Jeff Driscoll, a backup quarterback, he's gonna yeah, probably be gone. And then Steven Nelson, he is a high upside number 2 or a low number 1 corner, and he loses a little bit here. He's at age 30 now, I think. Our fullback thankfully didn't lose anything. His contract is up too. And I hope to re-sign him. He's one of the better fullbacks in the game. His lead blocking is kind of elite. And then Philip Dorsett loses a lot. No speed, but a lot of his catching and route running stuff is going to be gone. That's sad. And then Chris Conley, another receiver. Both of those guys have their contracts up as well. And I'm sorry, dude. That's just not going to be enough. A 30-year receiver that's 71 overall. And then our strong safety, Eric Murray, also loses a little bit, but thankfully just a little bit of awareness. And since I'm using him most of the time, that's fine. Fabian Moreau was the bottom guy on the corner depth chart. His contract is up too, but he just lost 12, including speed and press. And I just can't have that at a cornerback in our system. And then another linebacker here in Kamu Grugier-Hill, who also loses a little bit. It's not much, but his contract is up too, and I think it's time to move on. Our kicker, thankfully, also doesn't regress anything. So kicker and punter are taken care of for the next year. No regression there. Brandon Cooks, he turned 29, and he didn't lose a thing. So he's still going to be a number one, a solid one at that. And Laramie Tunsil also turning 29, and he also didn't lose a step. I love it. He's going to be a left tackle for a couple more years, I think. And then the last piece of regression, it's not skill regression, it's dev trade regression. He just got superstar dev in Super Bowl weekend. He just lost it again. Just 76 overall is probably not high enough to be a superstar dev player. But yeah, not going to change anything about that. And mock draft 3 is up. And I have talked about this a lot. And there is a 99% certainty that I will pick Alex Day as number 1 overall. A catching, A man, A press, A zone. This guy looks like an absolute stud, and he has elite speed at that too. 6'3" also. This guy's just a monster. And I don't think there is any way that I'm not going to pick him at number 1 overall. Another guy I really like is Lawrence Norton. He's the only tackle I really like. But at 11, he goes a little bit too early for me to maybe trade up from 18. I'm not sure if I want to trade up into the into the 10th spot or something. So not see that happening. Brent Sawyer is one candidate. Jamie Cantu is another candidate. Rashard Winters, the receiver, is also a candidate I'm looking at for this 18th overall selection. And then Tavon Hargrove at 32. That safety looks pretty legit. And then Justin Ross was a pickup off the practice squad of the Chiefs. And so his contract is up naturally. And I'm going to offer him a lot more than the fair offer would be, because he was just an award winner. He won Rookie of the Year, and I'm going to give him $12 million a season. And yeah, he takes it. Next up, Andy Janovich, our fullback. Already said that I wanted to keep him around. I went a little bit above the fair offer, but he wants to go to free agency, and naturally the tag is going to be an option here, and we're going to see if we need it. Then Marlon Mack is another guy that I want to let go because he just wasn't all that exciting, and I think it's time to start over, get somebody with better speed there as a number 2 running back, and we're going to let him go. Tavier Thomas, I said in the previous episode that between him and Kendall Sheffield, I wanted to keep one of them around, and I decided it's going to be Sheffield because Thomas just doesn't have the press. And I want somebody with high press there, and Sheffield has, I think, 10 points more. And so that's why I'm going to let Thomas go to free agency. And then Grugier-Hill, letting him go. Probably not going to bring him back either. He's 29. He's not going to develop into anything. Philip Dorsett, same deal, 30 years old. Probably not going to be developing into anything, and we're gonna let him go. I think we have with Brandon Cooks and John Mechie two fast guys that can do his thing, and he just regressed too. It wasn't all that mild either. And then Chris Conley, 30 years old, 6'3", 205. I think we have the skill set already on board with two other receivers and Justin Ross and Nico Collins. So I'm going to let him go as well. Probably not going to bring him back. Somebody I want to bring back for next year is Agbania Okoronkwo. He looks like a decent backup edge rusher, I'd say. And I went a little bit above the fair offer, and he's going to sign it. So he is coming back. And then Fabian Moreau, already talked about it, lost a lot in regression, and he's a lot worse than Kendall Sheffield in the important stuff, and so we're gonna let him go as well. And then Blake Cashman, I talked about him in the last episode. I thought that he and Kirksey would have a good chance to be the 1-2 linebacker duo next year, and I wanted to bring Cashman back because he has some hit stick upside, and he is happy to sign and continue to play for this organization. And then Kendall Sheffield, he's the guy I want to have. 2-year deal, I think is fair. It's a $500,000 per season, more than the fair offer, and I hope he takes it for a backup spot here on the roster, and he does. 5'10", 210. I think he has upside playing in the slot and outside, and that's something that's pretty valuable in my opinion. And then somebody else I wanted to resign is Jabari Zuniga. He was on the Jets practice squad at the beginning of the season, and I picked him up because I thought he was a good backup, and he wants to test out free agency. Might bring him back though. So he's a guy that I'm looking out for in free agency. If he doesn't get picked up, I'm gonna try to do something. Rasheem Green, same deal here. Went a little bit above the fair offer. Again, another edge rusher that might be good depth, and I think he's only 26, so there's still a little bit to grow there, and I like him. And then Terrence Brooks, 31 years old, just lost, I don't know, 25 points in regression. Didn't have the speed in the first place, and now he definitely doesn't have it, and he's going to be gone. And Royce Freeman, 27 years old, 70 overall, never has really developed into anything. I think it's time to let him go as well. He's just not somebody that I'm planning with, especially since Damian Pierce has the exact same skill set as he does. So it's not even like a complementary skill set. And then Max Sharping was our best defensive lineman if you look at sacks allowed per snap played. And I want to bring him back because I thought that, or I think that it's really valuable to have good backup offensive linemen. And sadly, he wants to test out, go to free agency. Might bring him back in free agency too, just like Zuniga. And then Grayland Arnold, he is 25, but he's 66 overall. If I want to have a 66 overall, I'd draft one. That's just too low and doesn't bring any upside either. So he's going to be gone. And Daryl Daniels, 28 years old, not going to develop into anything anymore. And I like the speed that he offers, but we also have Brevin Jordan, who is a lot younger and better. And so that's why I'm going to let Daryl Daniels go, even though I kind of like him. And then Kyle Allen, 27 years old, might be a good backup, might bring him back in free agency. Probably, if I do, probably in undrafted free agency after the draft, because I might draft somebody. And yeah, for now, I'm not going to resign him. And then John Weeks is here. He is somebody that I want to resign. It says 21 overall. That doesn't matter to me. It's realistic for NFL teams to have long snappers, and that's why I want to keep him. And if I remember correctly, I also have him on my Eagles franchise. That's kind of fun. And yeah, the last thing to do here is looking at the franchise tag for Janovich, and it's $1 million lower than what I offered him. So yeah, I'm gonna pick that up. You can bet on that. He's gonna be franchise tagged. He's the only player worth franchise tagging, and he's gonna be back next season. And maybe next year he'll take a deal. Or maybe not, and I'm tagging him again. I don't know. Looking at the roster now, where we can make some savings without having huge penalties. And the one guy that I definitely want to cut here is Titus Howard. No penalty, $13.2 million freed up. He is gone. He was pretty awful last season. He couldn't hold up against anybody, and Davis Mills took the most sacks in the league out of any quarterback, and that's why he is going to be released. That doesn't mean I won't bring him back. He's just now going to be gone for now. Maybe I find a different tackle in free agency, or maybe I bring Titus Howard back, but I'm not going to pay him $13 million next year. And then the other guy, it's Christian Kirksey. I thought I wanted to keep him around because he had lots of tackles. He was really roaming over the middle, but Regression has made him even worse, and he didn't have any big play upside to begin with. So yeah, and the penalty is just $1 million. That is why he is going to be gone too. And I think we're gonna have to find a new linebacker there, next to Blake Cashman and Jalen Reeves-Maben. We're gonna go to free agency now, and Tom Brady's on the market, and I'm not gonna pick him up because that's just not realistic. He would never go to Houston on a shitty roster like this. Odell Beckham, same deal here again. Both of those guys would never go to teams that are too bad. We have Tremaine Edmonds here, but there's already 7 teams that offered him, so the competition is probably going to be really high, and he's just a one-dimensional player as a run defender. But then I saw Marcus Davenport, and he already has interest in our team because Texas is a no income tax state, and that's something that I want to see, maybe. Javon Hargrave doesn't have the interest and already has 7 offers. Probably not gonna bring him in. And yeah, for us, I wanted to look at especially the trenches in this free agency period, and I think that there's a few players on this list that look really intriguing. And yeah, one of them, already seen him, is Marcus Davenport. But there is also another guy that I happen to really like, and he should be coming up in a few. He does not. Where is he? There he is. It's Eric McCoy. The Saints could not keep him around, and he does not have any interest, but he is the only good offensive lineman that's not already in his 30s that I really want to sign. So I'm gonna try to do that. And yeah, so the fair offer is $7.5 million per year, and this is more than 11 per year, and it is going to get us into second place for now. So that is not enough. I want to get this guy because our offensive line is horrible, and I already looked at the draft. It doesn't look like there's much talent there that I want to draft or is in good places to draft. So I went up to $12.5 million per year, and by the way, that is like the 4th offer I made. I started out with the fair deal, and those last 2 deals were just the higher ones, and that finally got us into first place. So 12.5 per year is what it might be taking. 12 teams are interested. He might go somewhere else. I don't know. And then somebody I was really intrigued by is Matthew Ioannidis. Our defensive tackle situation is horrible. You can see it on the right side. Ross Blacklock and Malik Collins. That is the worst defensive tackle duo in the league, and that is why I'm offering here. That's almost $10 million for a 1-year deal, I think. And it gets us in the first place by a mile. And he is 29, so he's not going to be like a future franchise player, but for this year, I think it's fine. And then Marcus Davenport, I already talked about him. I wanted to get him on board, and I went a lot beyond the fair offer, but by about $2 million. And this 3-year deal, $18 million, I think is fine, and he already has interest in us. So I don't need the feel to I don't feel the need to go to 20 or 22 million dollars. But we just lost Jerry Hughes, and I want to get this guy on the roster. We also have a lot of cap space, by the way, and I think we can spend it here because there's probably not going to be a $40 million quarterback on this roster in a couple seasons. So yeah, and another guy I wanted to get is Andre Dillard. I liked him when the Eagles drafted him. I went a little bit above the fair offer. He doesn't have any interest in us, so I had to, but he is going to be the right tackle if we can sign him. And right now we're the only fair offer, the only offer at all, and I hope that we can get him. And then Max Sharping, I already talked about him. This is the free agency stage where I went after all the linemen, defense and offense. This is 5 players you can get in this stage, and all 5 of my players are on the lines. And I'm going for Max Sharping here, hoping that he's gonna sign and be one of the better backup guards in the league. And we are the only team offering right now. So that's 5 negotiations, and after I went back and almost hit the button, I thought to myself, I'm gonna try to do even more. I'm gonna go even higher on Eric McCoy. It's not often that high-profile offensive linemen hit the market at 25, 26, and so I went up to 14.2 per year, which is almost double than what he is considering a fair offer. And I want to get this guy by so much. I need this guy to shore up that offensive line that was pretty horrible this last season. And now it's time to hit the button, the eval offers button. Who did we get? There is only 1 player left, so 4 players signed. And they all signed with us. It's Marcus Davenport, Eric McCoy, Matthew Ioannidis, and Max Sharping. 3 high-profile linemen and then a backup guard. That is what I want to see. And I think it was worth it going after McCoy and Davenport. So we signed 2 New Orleans Saints away to Houston. That is really fun to me. And then next stage, I wanted to look at a few more spots on the roster. We lost 2 running backs to free agency and retirement. And so I wanted to look at faster and smaller backs than Dameon Pierce. And Ty Johnson is what fit that mold. He also already is interested in signing with us. And so that's why I offered him. And then Jabari Zuniga, talked about him, wanted to bring him back. And I'm gonna give him an offer here. It's just a 1-year deal. And we are the only team interested right now, just like with Ty Johnson. There's a lot of players here that I'm offering to that we are the only team interested. And then Greedy Williams. When I saw him on the free agent block, I immediately thought about Steven Nelson because they are kind of similar, but Greedy Williams is 5 years younger and he's not going to regress in the next 3 years. And I saw an opportunity to maybe get him and trade away Steven Nelson or something like that. And then James Wiggins is a backup safety that I also have in my Eagles franchise. I really like him. He has nice skills, great hit stick, and I think that he might be a good replacement for Terrence Brooks. Sorry, name was escaping me. We also lost Grayland Arnold. We just have 2 safeties on the roster right now. So that's our offers for this period. It's 5 offers for the 4 offers we just made, and then the one that was already there. And we are having 2 more guys, Ty Johnson and Jabari Zuniga. They are still 3 guys out, out there that I want to get. Maybe I have to improve the offers here on Greedy Williams, Andre Dillard, and James Wiggins. But we're going to hit the eval button one more time. We're still the only team offering to all of those 3 players. And let's see who we got this time. It's just one player that is not here anymore. Did we sign him or did he get signed away? No, we got him. It's James Wiggins. And so Greedy Williams and Andre Dillard are still out there. That is 2 potential starters for next season. And then, like I already said, Steven Nelson, he's 30. And I just saw a perfect opportunity to replace him with somebody that's 5 years younger. And the Rams are the perfect franchise to do it because they are the only team that has one good corner and all of the rest are 60 and below overalls. So they just got a high upside number 2 corner and we get a 3rd round pick in return. And then with the signing of Ioannidis, the Malik Collins kind of is useless to us because we have a better run stopper in Roy Lopez and better pass rusher in Ross Blacklock. So I just wanted to see what the market is going to do if I hit the offers button. And I saw that AJ Epinesa is on the trade block and they offered it to me and I took the deal because I like AJ Epinesa and he's buried on the depth chart. So we have another guy to compete with Jonathan Grenard. And then on the next mock draft, once again, Alex Day falling to 4. No way, Jose. He's not going to fall to 4. He is going to pick up at number 1 overall. I already talked about this like a bunch in this entire season, and I'm gonna make it true. Alex Day is as good as it gets, and I think he's a generational player because all those A grades, that can't be just a 78 overall player. And then, yeah, with the second pick, it's interesting. They have us go with Brent Sawyer. I'm interested, but I think there is another interior offensive lineman that is way lower. We can pick him up in the 3rd round, maybe 2nd. And maybe use this 1st round pick for somebody else. Now that we already got a center, we don't need to force it, upgrading our offensive line. And then another eval period, 1 player left on that board. And now we got them all. Greedy Williams and Andre Dillard are signing here. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, please like the video, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We're gonna move on to scouting private workouts, and I spent a lot of time looking at who I wanted to have these private workouts, and I have decided that I'm gonna spend these private workouts for 2 prospects that are that I consider interesting players with our 18th overall pick. One of them is Rashard Winters. I like him, 6 foot, 196 out of Texas. He has nice skills and a 4.38 40-yard dash. And then Jamie Cantu with elite athleticism and run stopping abilities. Just don't know anything about the coverages. And then the 3rd player is going to be Greg Springs. This is the interior offensive lineman that I meant, and I'm probably going to have to pick him up in the 2nd round if I want him. And yeah, Greg Springs looks like the best offensive lineman on the interior in this entire draft class, to me at least, with the information I have. And that's why I maybe want to pick, or not maybe, I really want to pick him up. There is a high probability that I will trade up for him. And now the final mock draft, it has Alex Day going at 2. Yeah, no way, Jose. It's still Alex Day going to number 1. Can tell you that right now. And then down the list, we have Lawrence Norton still at 11. So there's no way in hell I'm picking him up because I would have to trade up to 10 or something, spend a 2nd round pick or something. That's not worth it. Jamie Cantu now projected to go 15. So higher than my pick is. Maybe have to trade up for him if I want him. But Rashard Winters might be an interesting option here. At 18, he is projected to go at 19. And from what I can see, I think these are the 2 favorite options that I have right now all the other, like, I spent so much time trying to find out which tackles are the best, but there is just no convenient way of getting a good one for me in this draft. And then we're gonna just look at free agency. Tom Brady signs with the Eagles, so once again he's behind a great offensive line. Marcus Davenport to the Texans, Javon Hargrave to the Bears, and Julio Jones did not get inside at all. Tony Pollard goes to Miami, and Sean Murphy-Bunting also to Chicago. Melvin Gordon, Juju, Jarvis, David Onyemata. Yeah, there's a lot of players that didn't get signed that I thought would be signed, but I got the guys that I wanted, and that is all that matters to me. And it was a great free agency period. We shored up our defensive tackle spot. We got a replacement for Jerry Hughes. We got a new center for the next 3 years, so 3/5 of our line are now complete and locked in for the next few years here. And then for the linebacking situation, we're gonna need to look at the draft. There was just no linebackers that I was really interested in. I thought Tremaine Edmonds would be a nice choice, but he's kind of a one-dimensional run stopper, and if I want that, I just could have stuck with Christian Kirksey. But yeah, if we want a pass coverage guy, I think we need to look at the draft. And with that being said, that's gonna do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe for more Texans franchise. See you in the next episode. Until then, spread some love.